Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today I have my co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
And our guest today is Christine Smith. How are you doing, Christine?
I am good. I'm so excited to finally be on for, a year now of playing tag? You guys
yes.
Me, so I'm
our
so
other guest is our show psychic. Her name is Vanessa Orr, and she is she's also a psychic as well as a medium. And I told Christine, because when Christine told me that when she came on that she wanted the work. That's what she said.
Yeah.
About a year ago, she said she wanted the work. So I said, okay, we'll give you the work. So, that's why I called Vanessa up, and I told her I've been trying to get this woman for a year. And, and also we've been doing there's another reason we brought her on here is we're doing, I believe it was Barbara's idea to do a Playmate series. Isn't that right, Barbara?
Well, that's right. Because the biggest question I get is, how did you become a Playboy Playmate? It seems like people just want to know, how did it all happen? So that is what we start off with, that question. So I thought, why don't we give you what you really want? You love psychics. We're giving you the best. And we also love Playmates. So we want to ask you a couple of questions. So we're not going to take up too much of your wonderful hour with Vanessa, but like we were speaking yesterday, right, Vanessa, about Christine, we were reading through your bio and saw some things that were special. Yeah, go ahead, Vanessa.
The movies. I don't have the biography up in front of me, but
yes,
there was a movie.
Let me
with,
get it in front of me.
Yeah,
I also have a question. Were you a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice?
No, I was just basically background. So they had Brandy Roderick, Playboy Playmate, was on The Apprentice. I think she actually won. So they had just filmed up at the Playboy Mansion. So they had myself and a lot of other girls up there. So it was a pretty exciting day. I really love Brandy, too. She's such a talented, just badass woman.
So smart and so great. So, but I have to correct you. You were a beauty background. The beauty background.
So
You're just
sweet.
background.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
there is such a thing as that.
Now.
What was that?
Everywhere from a woman.
Oh, well, thank you. I just wanted to say you are a fellow Miss December, which is awesome. The Christmas Gala issue sells double the amount of issues than any other month. So it actually is an honor to have that. So did you feel special by being Miss December?
I did. I didn't know that at the time, but it was really cool. It was kind of scary because it happened so quick. So they found me in July. My friend wanted to go try out to do a test shoot. And she's like, well, come with me, check out the studio. I'm like, well, yeah, of course I want to see the Playboy studio. Who doesn't? And I got there, and then Stephen Wayda, the celebrity photographer, saw me, and he's like, I'm not letting you leave unless you take a Polaroid. And back then I was like, no, like I'm good. And he finally talked me into it. Yeah, I wouldn't take my panties off, and I think I made him put it in writing that if I didn't make it, that he would shred the pictures. Like I thought they would get out, or it was so dumb.
Well, you just were, caring about yourself. No, I would have cared too. It was either doing that or nothing for me, and the rest, after Playboy Playmate, you get that intact, then new rules. But yeah, I didn't want to do any other nude modeling if it wasn't going to be Playboy first. So I totally can relate to that. But I found the movie that Vanessa and I were trying to think of, and it was called House Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so cute. I love Anna Faris. She is so sweet, funny, talented. we ended up working with her for about 3 weeks. That was so much fun.
Mhm. Wow. So you were with the group with Hash. Go ahead, Vanessa. She loved that you were in that because we both love that movie.
I do. It's such a cute show, but you were also in Bad Teacher.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was so much fun. That was such an honor. I've never been starstruck. And I walk in and I see this like 6 foot tall supermodel. I'm like, oh, okay, I got replaced. I guess I'm going home. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Cameron Diaz. I'm like, oh my God, I'm working with Cameron Diaz. The director didn't tell me. Just to I don't know, we knew I'd get a kick out of it, but she was so cool. And she showed me. Huh?
You were great in that show because you played a bit of a villainess. do you remember? It was really. I remember. I had no idea what I was watching. I just happened to stumble on Bad Teacher this winter, and I said, "That's a really talented person." And now here you are on Life, Laughter, and Happiness tonight. You did a fantastic job in that movie.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. And wow, you know when you meet somebody but you've seen the movie, but you meet the person and you realize, okay, they were in that, you want to go back and watch it again. So I'm going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it more exciting. Yeah. It's good. Well, you know what? It's so cool, you guys, is that when you become a Playboy Playmate, yes, there's a lot that still goes into your auditioning, and, you know, it's competitive against the people in Hollywood and your peers, but you landed some really great roles in some very well-known things. And isn't it amazing, like, you go from, I don't know what your life was before Playmate, but once I became a Playmate, then you're finding yourself on these amazing sets with these actors, and some of them you grew up watching, and it's just, I mean, how was that experience for you? It's kind of like surreal, isn't it?
I know, it really is, because I remember I was in, when we filmed Las Vegas with Morgan Freeman and Robert De Niro, and it was just, I think they had us Playmates. We were like in a bikini show or something was the theme of the movie, but I just remember standing there, I'm just like, I'm seriously filming a movie that De Niro and Morgan Freeman on, and I'm standing there talking to their body doubles, and yeah, it's still. I think that's the best part, is that I never got used to it. Like I feel like some girls kind of get used to it, and then it becomes a job. But I always feel like a little kid. Like every time I'm like, seriously, I'm getting paid to do this still. All right, this is awesome.
I know. I can hear that in your voice. Everything, like Johnny or Vanessa asks, oh, you were in this or that. You're like, oh, yeah. Like, it still is fun to you. It's not like, oh, yeah, I did that. It's so you appreciate things, and that's so wonderful to hear and witness that. Somebody who, you know, you're not getting jaded by doing all of this and working with these well-known actors at all. So how wonderful. So that leads me into what we have for you today, which is the psychic reading. I was saying reading and medium at the same time, by our psychic medium. And Vanessa, she does her research a little bit and like reading your bio, but we want to get like in deep and, you know, find out, is there something you want to know, or is there a way you want to be guided in life, or is there somebody that you would like to talk to on the other side? That's right here at your fingertips right now. Unless you want to tell us more about the Playboy experience, we would like to hand you over to Vanessa. Yes, Johnny?
Yeah, I think that would be great. I'm really looking forward to talking to you, Vanessa. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
But I have one more question. I have one more question before you hand it over to Vanessa. Did you say that you would advertise this show on Twitter?
Yes, I did put it on Twitter today.
Good. Okay, she has 115,000 followers.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that, Christine.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, let me know after this. Text me your info, Vanessa, and I can add that and do like a follow-up thing with your info also.
Or
that would
Instagram.
Be so wonderful. Like post it on my Instagram and Twitter. You're welcome.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
Vanessa, Do you do Twitter, or are you involved with Twitter much, Vanessa? Because I know you have a huge following on Instagram. So
yeah, Twitter,
that would be great.
Yes, it would. That would just be such an honor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I follow Twitter. In other words, I just read what's going on Twitter. It's a little aggressive for me, but
right.
I'm impressed with people who can
See, I'm
manage
the
it
same.
so well.
I use Instagram more, but I just started Instagram like I think just under 2 years ago for my company, or not my company, but our company. And so that's all I really use it for. So my Twitter has a ton of followers, but I don't really use it. And then my Instagram I use, but I don't have much followers. So we might be helping each other then.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Oh, you know what?
Right?
I forget one thing. Yes, one thing before we turn you over to get your reading, but we're going to be here, Johnny and I. We're going to be here. We might add a few things, if you guys don't mind, during your reading, because I find this so interesting, and I guess that's why I am a part of the show. Is that okay, you guys?
Yeah, of course.
Sure, yeah.
And then if we go over on time, I'm actually good now. I'm back home. I didn't think I was going to make it here in time, but so we are good now if we do end up having to go over.
Okay, great. But before we get started with that, could you just tell the listeners exactly where to find you, what your handle is? Maybe it's Christine Smith, at Christine Smith. I'm not sure. But if you tell all the listeners, then we could all follow you on Twitter, Instagram, and if you have a Facebook. And then also you mentioned that you have a company. If you want to really quickly and how we can be a part of that as well, that would be great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll start with that. So that's Cali FX, and then it's a team of us that have been around. We have a PhD now to help, and it's creating medicine from the cannabis plant for people, like for weight loss, for health. So I've been involved with that the last 4 years. So that's kind of why I fell off the planet, because I'm so passionate, and it's like completely perfect. So that's been my obsession. And then you can follow that. Yeah, and we have we were in like the Emmys, gifting suites, like the Grammys. So you can see pictures of me and like a lot of the celebrities trying the product on. So my Twitter and Instagram is both the same. It's at Miss DEC 05. So just from the month, just Miss DEC 05. And then I'm thinking Facebook is probably the same.
Okay, that sounds great. And so to spell your company, though, it's medicinal, wonderful. Oh, I love that product. I do.
Yeah, so we have
much.
All state legal, made from hemp, and then it's tinctures, vape pens, like medical grade glass, like the top of the line as you can. It's basically like the Apple of hemp-based products. Like we've won awards for our tinctures in Denver. And so we've been going about 4 years, and then so I've been hitting up like the trade shows and doing all that the last couple years. So I'm finally getting back in the celebrity world because they've been obsessed with Cali FX too. So that's been pretty fun, taking them around to Hollywood events and stuff like that. So this year's going to be really big. I actually spent all day today setting up a store in OC, like a whole Cali FX store. So.
I love hearing
Very
that,
smart.
don't you, Vanessa? Like, yes. The entrepreneur, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, and we're
That's
like
so
majority
great.
women, by the way. Except for like, the warehouses, we're like all like women. Like the startup people, like women. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. Oh, I love that. Woman power.
Yeah, we got one
power.
pretty cool badass guy that makes it all happen, and then it's a group of women.
Okay, awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
just one more time, what is your company name? Cali what?
Oh, so it's CALYFX.
Okay. Oh, that's easy. Cali FX. Well, we'll make sure that we follow you there as well, and that I might be ordering something soon.
Yeah, reach out to me, and if anyone has any questions, because we really do have a whole endocannabinoid system in us. Like our body is really created to heal itself with cannabis, so it's so cool that now you can just go to your medicine cabinet, like I need this for weight loss, I need this for pain, and it's completely safe.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
I have the pain. Haven't done it for weight loss, so that is a new
I'll
interesting
mail you.
fact for
text
me.
me your guys' info, and I'll send all three of you gift boxes for sure. So it changed my life. Like real quick, not to get on a rant, but I couldn't sleep before. I had nerve damage. I got treated for at least 10, 15 years. Like everything healed just within the last 4 years of using this line. Cannabis
yes, I really have gone through a hard time recovering from this. When I fell down the stairs a year ago, I have tendons that click and things that are stiff and pull and things that just don't feel right. I'm trying to do yoga and the wrists still hurt from the bracing the fall. And just a lot of things aren't right. And I should have known. Of course, you're not going to just bounce back to 100% after something like that. So I need something, and it's not
I'm
pills.
going to back
I cannot
on
stand pain pills. What was
I'm
that?
going to send you like a whole gift thing. I'm going to send you like a whole gift pack and then have you just try the whole pain relief line like live on air, and I'll come back on. So I want to hear you live because it actually works that good. Yeah, like instantly. It's so crazy.
That. I would love to take everybody through it.
Yeah, the people are so talented that created it. It's insane.
Okay, I'll put it on live and I'll do updates and everything. Yeah, it's like you give to me, I'll give back, but I would be very happy to do so. But awesome.
Cool.
Wow, I'm glad
That'll
I asked
be
about
fun.
your company.
I'm excited. Because that's my favorite part about the trade shows is like we have all these models come over that, are standing, 6 however many hours in heels, and they try our Teamster drops and they're like, 30 seconds to 5 minutes later, like, are you still in pain? They're like, oh my God, no. Like, that's crazy. And they start like dancing around. No, it's so fun watching how well this works because a lot of people still really don't know that cannabis can help you this much, or hemp now. Now we're just this advanced that, we can help ourselves with hemp CBD as well as cannabis CBD, which used to be superior. So it's pretty exciting right now.
It is
That's
very
amazing.
exciting.
Yeah.
It really is because it's all natural, and that's what we're striving for is to, heal ourselves with techniques, basically our brain, our thoughts, with our psychic counselor, and then our body, it's things that we've been through. And I'm sure, Vanessa, you grew up with horses, right? Or you've had horses for many years. Were you ever bucked off of a horse?
Oh, yes. I know I had a concussion at one point. But, yeah, you're right. I grew up with horses, and you can get hurt. I know that right when I was retiring, I guess you can call it retiring. I still have horses, but I don't show anymore. But horses in my barn would get Reiki healing and energy healing from people who would come in, and also psychics would come in. So I imagine by this point, there's a lot of horses and barns that are receiving hemp products. Animals
we have a full pet line, actually. It completely changed my life. Yeah, she couldn't sleep in the car. She would freak out so bad. She would grind her teeth. She actually broke her back molar being in a car ride for 15 minutes. And our pet anxiety line, seriously, I took a video of her just violently shaking in the car. And then after 15 minutes, she's tired, loading the babies. Like, the video's on my Instagram somewhere. It works 4 times quicker for dogs than us because they have 4 times the cannabinoid receptors than people do. So I've seen CBD from pets seriously extend pets' lives for years now, I think.
That's fantastic.
That's
let me know.
That's wonderful.
I really hope that people are listening to this information because it's very smart and wise. I've got to say that right now when we're going through this coronavirus situation, people are in a creative state and they're looking outside typical routes in their life. For example, retail is not there to really provide the assistance. Let's say a PetSmart. So they're not really there to provide the assistance that you need. I'm an advocate of Chewy.com, and they're out of stock of everything. So when can they are. When you can segue to what Christine's talking about here, what this product line that she is marketing so wisely tonight, that's a great thing in an animal's life. That helps a lot, especially now.
So it's amazing for Joy to never be able to ride in a car to now, like we took her to Vegas on trips to like the trade shows, and there's a girl I know, her dog, he had valley fever, the pit bull, so he had open wounds, like all over, not wounds, but open sores all over his body. His back legs wouldn't work. With CBD, he completely healed, was walking again. It's seriously a miracle for pets. You can see it so much quicker.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is awesome, and
so
I had no idea.
We're actually coming out with something for horses. The guy that designed the I think he's a vet, that designed our newest pet line works with horses actually. So we may down the road should be having horse stuff coming out.
That is really helpful. I mean, a vet bill can get big, and I used to have a big 18.5 jumper from Scotland. And he was, in August, here he would become a little susceptible to the heat and humidity gets rather intense here. And he would start shedding hair. That kind of product, the products that you're talking about, would have been something that would have helped this guy.
What's amazing how life-changing the pet anxiety is, which I didn't even think about it, for how many animals get turned into shelters for, crying all day long or chewing the furniture or chewing on themselves. And for Joy to go to, physically shaking, violently to totally okay in 15 minutes, I mean, this could get, keep so many people's pets out of shelters now.
Right. Or peeing on everything.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, so I used to work with, special needs. Like, I used to take in all the animals that no one wanted. Like, Joy was my 121st rescue. And if I think back now, if I could have had these droppers, it would have been so cool because it was like, I'd take in, this Rottweiler, horribly abused, and would attack people, and I'd have to spend, weeks, having people come and give it treats and get it to be okay. Well, now I almost feel like I could just give it drops, and after a week, it might be good for how well.
Oh, wow. Jeez. All natural. Probably a lot less than a vet bill, like Vanessa says. Yes, and mental problems that we cannot, the vet cannot treat. Like my cat that peed everywhere when I'd leave was a mental problem because I adopted her from some other problems that I didn't know, what she endured. She didn't like me to leave. Okay, so I'd have to literally change 5 bed covers every week for sure, and that's not even including like the hamper and just everything she would pee on. Unfortunately, the vet could never find a physical not unfortunately, but they couldn't find a physical problem with her. So they said it's mental. I didn't know that they had this for mental. They have it.
Yeah, this is
mental
new,
state, right?
Recently. Yeah.
Oh.
No, my cat's feral, and then she got really aggressive eyeball cancer, so she's got one eye now, and then for some reason after that, she would just yell at me all the time, every day. Like, I'd come home, and I'd put headphones on, and I would just leave sometimes. Like, I'd always joke that, I'd never have to get married because I already have a wife. As soon as I open the door, she just starts yelling at me. But I actually started giving her the pet anxiety, like, 2 weeks ago, and now it's like she hangs out on the other side of the house. She doesn't yell at me. Like, right now, you wouldn't be able to hear me. And it's so crazy. She's like a different cat, and it works so well with Joy. I'm like, why did I not even think? But I thought it was just her personality, but now it's just maybe it was anxiety, and that's why she was just yelling at me like, I need to stressed, I'm something, do something, or because now she's just
no
like,
side effects.
Right here looking at me.
That's amazing. There's no side effects at all, right?
Mm-mm. So some dogs you can give them too much CBD, but all pet lines now have recommendations, because that was just kind of back when people were just buying CBD and didn't know. So some dogs, they could get upset their stomach, but especially ours is safe. But all pet lines in general, if it's a good quality CBD company, should be all right. But it's really important to know that you can trust the person, though, because it's amazing how many people I've met. So, I'll tell them about our pet line, and they're like, oh, well, I tried CBD, and it worked great, and then, it stopped working, and then I had to put my pet down. And I would ask what lines they use, and I'm like, oh, because one would be great, and I'm like, okay, I know that's a good one. And the next one I knew was just garbage. someone probably just making it in their garage. You know, you can be certain that it was the amount of CBD in it. And then so that's why their pet went downhill. So that's why half of why I'm so passionate about this line is that, you know, that, like, you know, everything's going to work. And because it's just so heartbreaking. So many people I talk to give up on CBD, and it's just because they tried a company that's just in it for the money rather than in it to actually help people.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Then if we know it's really good, then you feel like, okay, I would like to refer my friends to this. So thank goodness we found you. So many people I know.
Yeah, so I'm excited to send you guys some stuff and come back on.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
You have to send it to 3 different states. Okay.
What was that?
Okay, good. Take it away, Vanessa.
All right.
Take
it away, Vanessa. I want to hear about my future. I have no questions, just whatever you hear sounds fun. Or sad or hide. Whatever you hear.
Well, since while we were talking, I went ahead and did a pre-reading while we were speaking, and I decided to start with this. It's the business. You're going to be coming into a leadership role, Christine. So if it doesn't seem like it is so right now, I hope it makes sense to you when I say that the word leadership came up. So you're going to be leading the company. You were mentioning earlier that you had 3 or 4 other women with you, that it was mostly women in the back room packing
big
and
group,
shipping.
Yeah, but mostly women, Mostly women surrounding me.
Well, there are some new beginnings coming for the company. I was trying to look around to see if career, you know, your on-screen career was the dominant thing I was seeing here, but it's the business actually. And of course, but they showed me earlier about, 10 minutes ago, how you're juggling so many things right now. And money came in. And so then I heard you just speaking about the business with Barbara. So please understand that you have new products coming. For humans, they are talking about 3 to 4 new products. One of them is an ointment. Apparently people want your line dispensed in a product, Christine. So with whom you make decisions is going to be some feedback from your consumer platform about, a variation of products. So you're expanding your line. I asked about the animal line since, I jumped in and talked a little bit about what I would hope to see in, for example, a horse barn right now, and you said that you had someone that might have been a doctor and was working on products. He's working on several products. And so speak with this gentleman. And here's what they were showing me, Christine, is that you might be surprised. Even though this reading is coming out in front of you right now, you will probably still be surprised. You're someone who's very pragmatic and level-headed. You've got your feet in the ground. You're a very grounded individual. I've been rather just kind of checking around. And so please know that it may not seem like you're the go-to person, but that is coming up. I wanted to just pause for a moment and ask if you have any questions or any corrections you want to make to what I'm saying.
Not at all, actually.
Well, that's really great. So because,
it sounds like you've really hit the nail on the head with the way things are moving forward company-wise, with bringing in new people to be trained and stuff. Because we're hiring like huge amounts of people right now. So you definitely hit the nail on the head with that.
The readings that I have been doing as a result of coronavirus, sometimes I'm stopped during the day and Spirit will show me something, and I've said it plenty of times here in Life, Laughter, and Happiness, is just exactly what you are doing. When I asked them about entrepreneurship, they told me we're way ahead of the curve. This had been on your mind, and you had been speaking to pinnacle people who could point you in the right direction to begin this company. But it looks like you were part of the company. You came in while the company was under creation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know if start.
But now you'll be segueing into a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. one of the things that I was shown is that this is a new horizon. I don't think it probably sets right with you, but please know that you're going to be sought after. It's going to take you by surprise that you're going to be taking on these interesting roles. I also see that you're going to be meeting with a gentleman in, it looks like kind of a boardroom, or it looks like a bank, for more capital to expand the business, because it will be the consumer growth that will demand that. So you're going to be in meetings, and I heard this is what I heard, commanding capital, which is just a nice way of saying we need X amount of money, and it's going to be there at the ready for you, because this is a market sector that sees that this particular individual and the people behind him that he represents want to invest in. There's telling me that sounds a little cryptic to you, but it's going to come up on you, Christine. You're going to be in a business leadership position.
No, that sounds, you hit the nail on the head, actually, because I've had a lot of, like, really big people, like, just keep circling around, you know, with the company and everything. So, yeah, I can totally see that.
Well, that's very interesting, because there are people circling around. Can you clarify something for me? I kept seeing this guy that was coming around. He's very respectful of, you know, giving you space, but it's they use the word dancing with you, and he keeps coming up in the reading. Does this make sense? Someone who's giving you space and letting you grow, if you will, and he's giving you room. It's a love interest. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. He's nice. He's very nice and good looking, and he's young, I heard, and he is supportive of you. This is weird. I don't know if I'll go ahead and mention it, since I've made a little bit of a preemptory strike on this. They use the word clam with me. So is he rather quiet, like, you know, clam up, or he's just observing you and letting you, he lets you speak all the time, because he just enjoys listening to you? Does that sound like this gentleman?
I think you mean like someone like just sitting back and watching?
Well, watching you and
like from afar.
Let's see. Yeah, he's at a distance, Christine. He's very intently watching you and giving you space and room. He says room to grow, and he's shaking his head yes about that. So please understand. Okay, this particular guy's going to be around. And so I asked about love, since he jumped into the picture. Yeah, he's not going away. I took a bunch of notes while you and Barbara were speaking. Mm-hmm. But vibration in a voice is always a great way, well, at least for me, to see what's going on in your world. You have such, I heard, quick wit, and you're very astute, and you're very well spoken, and people get mesmerized. I got to admit that I did too, and I'm just listening to you. It's like I'm not in your space, but it's
me too.
I
did too.
I know, right?
I did.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You guys are so sweet. It's so cute. I mean, like, I just barely walked in the door, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna be talking fast. I'm gonna be flustered. I'm so glad that you guys say that. Thank you.
Well, you know, actually, I was impressed too, because you said that you were on the autistic spectrum. I'm on the autistic spectrum too. I have cerebral palsy, so and I was like thinking like, gee, does she rock back and forth, or you know? So I don't want to get off track of the subject, but that's what I was wondering about when I saw you a little bit.
Yeah, I would really love to talk to you more in detail too, because I know you text me about the OCD too, and I've just been so busy with work the last couple of days, I haven't had a chance to really get back in detail. But yeah, I would love to talk with you on another episode too, like get into like detail with all that if you want. It'd be interesting to see what we both have, because a lot of my cousins' children are like very autistic too, so I'm really excited to speak about that subject.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Right,
another part of your career then, and I hate to just jump in, but I thought I'd finish this up and let the three of you talk. Christine, have you been approached for voiceovers?
No.
It looks like that could be. Can I just ask you, would that fit? Oh yeah, it would, because you're able to juggle things in your schedule so well. Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I used to do a lot of stuff like that, like video. Yeah, I do both on video. I think my personality, like you're saying, the voice stuff.
Yes.
So I could see that happening.
There's that or something. They keep saying the word audible with me. So if I ask is it Audible Books, I actually get a yes on that. And I just got major confirmation. This is what I call the Barbara Moore chills. And it's Barbara. It's confirmation. It's the prana confirmation, and it's the Kundalini confirmation. You really have a lot of exciting things coming your way. This has been such a fun reading about the big projects that are coming for you. There's success that, success for you, and you don't dwell on it. It's just like you experience it, and you're happily looking forward to the next project. And it involves typically help. You're always looking around to see if you can help someone. I do pick up on that a lot. And
oh my God, yes, it drives me insane every second of my existence. That's cool you picked up on that.
Well, you know what I did way before the show, about 4:30, I asked my angels and guides of 100% divine light to connect with your angels and guides of 100% divine light. And sometimes we can get angels or guides around us that need your permission, Christine, to exit so that greater can come in. So that's kind of what I call a changing of the guard. But this reading has been very exciting. I didn't want to take up too much more of your time. I am telling you, you are juggling money well. You are juggling projects extremely well. And there's career expansion, which this must be. They were just showing me a very strong embrace with, they're talking theater. They're talking about verbal expression. So listen, it's vibration in your voice. And I think Barbara talked about this a couple times, smiling into the phone. And that's your whole soul smiles into this. I know that sounds a little.
Yep.
Cheesy,
No.
But no, nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say that
at all. Actually,
I was wondering if you were noticing that, and you are, Vanessa. She's a perfect example of what I was talking about, giving advice to that other person, caller who called in. I'm like, have you ever tried to smile when you talk? Because people can feel that. They can. But, if Christine is a Playboy Playmate model, actress, then how perfect. She started this company. Then use your other attributes that you already do have and talents that maybe you are yet to uncover, which is your voice that I recognized it immediately. Mm-hmm. It's warm and it does have that vibration, and it kind of sometimes goes a little low, which is totally great, but it's cheerful. It's a well-rounded, makes you feel good voice. So how perfect. So do your own commercials and do your voiceovers for your project, and then write a pamphlet or a book
I bet
about
she's
it, right?
seeing public speaking. I bet she's seeing me as public speaking, like just standing in theater with public speaking. Because I feel like I've kind of always been here for the voice for people that, are, because that's why I originally wanted to get into cannabis, was because, there's so many people working, cleaning hotels, working 12 hours a day in agony. They don't have to be in agony. They don't have to take ibuprofen. So that's why I wanted to meet someone and, team up and make the best. I just totally lost my train of thought, though, actually. No,
you're public speaking.
I poured a second glass of champagne,
right?
And I just lost my train of thought.
No, you said that you were interested in public speaking.
Oh, that's right. Because I want to be the voice for people who people don't listen to. And I feel like if people, hopefully, I don't know if this sounds right or not, but I hope that people look at me like, okay, this girl could be on a yacht with some rich guy right now, but she's standing here speaking to these people, trying to change laws for cannabis or trying to do this. Maybe I'll listen to her because she really doesn't have to be here. So that's what was my end goal after, meeting the people that can make the best, cannabis company, safely, was to be the voice for all the people that I'm trying to help. So that's pretty cool.
That's a good segue. That's a good segue into it.
It's already underway. So that's why these things are coming and sneaking up on you. Here's how it's going to work. Everything that you just talked about, because one of the things that came up in this reading was organizations. And that's what's happening right now. Organizations are coming up, balance with this company. And so if I test, is Christine going to do public speaking? I actually get a yes on that. Is Christine going to do marketing for this company? I get a mild yes on that. So it looks like the public speaking is the primary project here, aside from the company. The one thing that when I sat down while I was listening to you speak with Barbara, the first word that came up was juggling. And I'm like, okay, what is she juggling? So they showed me money, projects, and career expansion. So that's already happening. These are big projects that are coming. They're very successful, and they're going to be more successful than you predict, more successful than you will anticipate. And if I asked about, they were showing me the infinity sign. You know the infinity sign?
Oh my God, I've been drawing it on my hand for days.
Oh,
wow. For some reason. For absolutely no reason.
way.
I've never thought about the sign.
Yeah.
I feel like if I go to my phone right now, there's probably a picture of it on my hand, taking pictures of other things. Okay, why do you bring it up? That's crazy.
That came up. It was so hilarious. This has just been a fantastic, fun reading because that infinity sign kept coming up at me. And if you think about it, when people juggle, I can't juggle, but it's a kind of an infinity sign, and it has inertia, and it doesn't stop. You just keep going, and that's you. You have all these projects, your career. It's so funny because you're like the one person that has all these gifts and talents, and you can stand around and just pick and choose all day long. I think I might do that.
That's so cool to hear it. Thank you. I can't believe you brought up that infinity thing. That's seriously insane. So I've never drawn on myself before, for no reason. So I've been signing autographs for a week and a freaking half. So I had the marker here, and I've been drawing that infinity sign on my hand every day for no reason. Now I find the reason, I guess, just so we can bring it up. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. And you know what? And I'll end on this note with the infinity sign. If you turn it upright, it's the number 8. And
I know that's funny.
Yeah, it's just a riot. Well, this was just such a fun reading for me. I just want to thank you for allowing me to come in. It was my honor to everybody. Again, I just love Jonathan and Barbara. It's always so rewarding for me. I feel almost selfish when I come on, but I thank you, and it was my pleasure to meet you, Christine.
I had so much fun, and I would love to talk to you again after we send you guys out all the stuff that our team made. And if you want to come on and try it live with everyone else, that would be fun. But you have to be honest because it actually works. I'm not scared. You have to be totally honest, though.
Well, what a fantastic reading, and just keep going, and it's my honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun.
Oh, good.
That's
awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Christine, and thank you, Barbara. Good night. I'll let you all talk.
Thank you so much. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
What?
Yes.
Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I know, right? And it's the quietest Cinco de Mayo ever, isn't it? It's the quietest one you ever saw.
I'm going to make myself some tacos after this, but that's about it.
You're so clever. I was just saying to my husband today, it's Cinco de Mayo. Look, it's just so quiet out here. Oh, you're all right. Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo.
She is great.
She is. She's just
happy Cinco de Mayo. We'll talk soon. Have a great night.
All right. Good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vanessa, so much. Okay. Christine, Vanessa touched upon a little bit in your romantic life, but I think it was just a little bit. So are you single? What is your status, if you don't mind telling the audience?
No comment.
Okay, well, I hope that you were taking notes. No, you don't need to, because you can listen to this show again, and we'll all be listening. But whatever the situation
No, it's so funny. Actually, I should say that, but no, life is really cool because I actually really, truly feel like, especially the older I get, I feel like people that we meet are really like puzzle pieces. Like, you know how you meet people and you just instantly click, and it's not like a weird hippie or anything anymore, I don't think. Like, I feel like it's either we knew each other from, you know, lifetimes ago, or we're supposed to meet, or we're soul tribes or something. So it's kind of cool. So I haven't really dated that many people, but when I do, I feel like we click, and it's like, all in, we're going to do this, it's so cool to meet, and then when it's over, like, then it's over or something. But it's I've had a lot of fun, though, because it's like I haven't had any bad dating experiences, though, actually, which is pretty cool.
That's good. And I totally relate to you with that.
I wasn't in a 15-year relationship, though, so I guess that kind of eliminated all the bad dating now that I think about it. I was like, wait, I've had no bad relationships. Oh, never mind, I didn't date much. Never mind.
He took all of the time up. But you know what? You probably learned quite a bit in that relationship. You probably learned a lot, which, you know, it's not, when people think, oh, it didn't work out. Well, it worked out for many years, which then were satisfying and hopefully satisfying. And then you learned a lot from it and learned more about what you want. But I think when you said it happens more often the older you get, probably because you're, thank goodness, on the right path and you're doing amazing things. So you already fought half the battle yourself, which is very admirable. You know, a lot of models and, you know, people who look like models don't even know what they have inside of them. But it seems like you really have a good grip on who you are and where you want to go. And also that, hey, you find a passion for something, either it's falling in your lap, which is amazing luck, or it is because you go for it, which I think most of it is you going for it.
I think it's I think it's a trillion% like fate too, and just like God, universe, or soul tribe, or whatever, lining everything up. Like even more the last 3 years, it's so weird. So since I brought up the 15-year relationship, so I, you know, met this guy. I was 23, and he had a 10-year-old and 13-year-old daughter at the time, and we instantly hit it off, and it was just like, you know, totally great. And then towards the end, I just had the feeling like my soul was being ripped out, that I needed to move, and I was going to meet the person to like that was going to, you know, bring on the best people, and we'd have like the greatest cannabis company. And like I, you know, came back home, and it's like everything just snowballed. So I've kind of like gotten over the like thinking of relationship as in like, you know, boyfriend girlfriend status. Like I kind of feel like I'm just on this planet just to meet like a bunch of different like people and connect and just figure out how all these puzzle pieces line up for like the bigger purpose.
Yeah.
Like it's so cute. Like when I was a kid, I always sounded. Oh, it's funny. That's what made me think of this when you brought up the autism thing. So I always wondered if it was from me being autistic or something. Because if anyone ever complimented me, I was like, no, God just made you think I was cute. You listen to what I had to say. Like I'm really not pretty, but thanks. Like, and I really believe that. And I would tell people that since I was a little kid. So I totally believed. I'm like, yeah, no, God just had you guys fooled because you need to listen to the words that come out of my mouth. I'm here for the greater good of the people or something.
That is actually crazy because you're so beautiful. I'm looking at your photos right now.
And actually,
wow.
I want to ask you this question, not to talk about myself, but to make sure. I want to know how much of my life and your life are similar because of the autism. Like, I would rock back and forth, and it's a little bit of an embarrassment. And I had a habit of like, one of the things I used to do is I used to take, like, candy thermometer. My mom had a candy thermometer, and I would twirl candy thermometer. And then my mom, you remember those big wheels that they used to make, that you used to roll around them, like tricycles? I used to take the tricycle, I would turn them over, and then I would spin the pedal.
Wait, hold on. I'm putting you on speaker
like
right. I
that?
yelled at by my cat. Repeat your last sentence because my cat just started yelling at me for food. I just heard after you put the trike over.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, I would turn the thing over, and then I would spin the wheels, not spin the pedals. I'm curious. Did you ever do anything like that?
Yeah, so I know the doctors told my mom, but I'm 41 now. So this was like a long time ago. Like, I don't think they really knew autism and spectrum. So I used to walk on my toes, and then I don't remember what other things they were that told her, but back then it was just kind of like, there's something wrong with your kid. We don't really know what. So I think parents are kind of like, yeah, no, there's not. My kid's awesome. But so I would walk on my toes a lot until, God, honestly, I probably didn't even stop till maybe 35. Like, I would always just wear wedges because then no one would notice. And I didn't know that was an autism thing until, maybe 10 years ago. And then, what was that?
That's interesting. You had no idea.
You know, like that arm flapping thing?
Yes.
I don't know, Johnny.
Okay. Like I would kind of do that when I was alone. Like, I had like a lot of OCD when I was younger. I remember when I was little, like I would write like all my school clothes. I would have a piece of paper hang on every hanger, and then every day when I wore it, I would write the day I wore it and stuff, and I'd write what I ate for breakfast, and if I needed to wake up and play with my brother and build a igloo, because we grew up in Utah. So we'd go out and build igloos. I'd have to write it, wake up, eat oatmeal, wake up, brother, do igloo, da-da-da. As like a little kid.
Wow. Due to the outfit. The outfit stimulated for you to write this, and would you, want to do, next time you wore the outfit, you were going to do the same ritual?
It was just like a weird, I had to just write down and can keep track and control everything as like a little kid. Like, way too little of a kid for that to make sense. Like, I would have notebooks, keeping track of everything.
This is something that happened to me. I was, actually not really me, but my nephew who was autistic. He lost a tooth, and the routine. His mom, my sister, told him, okay, you put the tooth under the pillow, and then the tooth fairy will come into the room and take the tooth and leave you $1. Well, he thought the idea of the tooth fairy going into the room was a complete violation of his privacy.
He's a smart kid. You know what I really think is autistic kids are just like little geniuses that just need to be broken out of their bodies.
Me too. I agree.
So, I was special. What was it? What grade was it? 7th grade, I think. I was I just helped a teacher for a special ed class. And just the kids were just so cool. They were so funny. They were so smart. And it's like, I remember I would go around and I'd correct papers for all the teachers. And I just loved staying in that class. I really feel like the autistic kids are really the ones that are going to change the world. I feel like this year we're really going to figure out how to break them free.
That's awesome. And you know what? Vanessa also mentioned something about that you always love to help people. So back when you were a child, the teacher chose you to help what they would call the handicapped people. So, wow, that's a wonderful quality.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I always couldn't stand bullies ever since I think it's like the redhead. Well, I'm a redhead and Aries thing, so I don't know much about astrology yet. I really want to learn more. Oh, by the way, anything astrology, notes, all that, I need that. I don't know anything. But from what I've heard, it's like redhead, Aries. So I feel like my human body was because my parents never fought. I never heard them argue. And my mom was just always hair perfect, make it perfect all the time, and just sweet. All of my relatives, up into their 80s, travel to do missionary work. So I feel like my human body, it just come from this long generation of just people who they just exist to help people. That just truly makes them happy. That's just why they're here, blah, blah, blah. But my soul is pure spitfire. No, you bully, you're wrong. I'm going to run over you and hit you in the house. It's kind of
it's a mixture
this year. Huh? I think I finally realized how to blend the both. I was always one extreme or the other, and now I kind of feel as I'm getting, I guess all of us as we get older as a woman, we finally realize who we really are and what we want in life, and focus on ourselves. So I'm really excited about this year. I kind of feel I'm this little kid that's just filled with like pure spitfire that won't do anything wrong. Sometimes it's crazy to see myself like doing all and see what happens.
I bet you get that question a lot from guys at autograph shows. Are you a real redhead? But I mean, you just answered that question. But I bet you do get that question a lot.
Oh, yeah, no, it's so weird. So I still don't even look at people in public. So when I was born, I had like a couple inches of just bright red hair. And so my mom said she'd have to put a bonnet on me because everyone at Stopper, you never see, you know, a newborn or not many people, I guess, even back, you know, especially back then with red hair. Yeah, so ever since I was a little kid, I'm used to going into a grocery store and every single person staring at you because you have bright red hair. And everywhere you go, everyone's staring at you, and everywhere you go, everyone stops and stares at you, and it like creeps you out. And then as you get older, you know, then you know you go through like teenage years, and then you're like, ew, oh, stop staring at me, old. You know, you like start wearing jackets, and yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So being a natural redhead my whole life, I kind of feel like made me oblivious to going out in public now, because now I'm so used to, like, I'm in my own little bubble. I'm not looking up. Not that I hide my head or anything. It's just I don't really notice anyone because it's just so weird when you look up and, like, a whole room of people is just staring at you. And you're like,
yeah, well, you got used to it.
Oh, wait, never mind, there.
But that was maybe good. But for some people who maybe not as strong as you, but you had such a nice upbringing, it sounds like, with your parents still together and in a loving environment, that it worked for you. But can you imagine if there was a child out there with not that stability and, you know, support system, and they're being stared at as well? Oh my gosh, that might have developed a complex. So for you, it boosted you up.
Yeah, because I was old enough. Yeah, that's why I think it's good, because it made me just kind of ignore, like, if someone's protruding their own feelings onto me or something, it's easier to ignore. Yeah, because I think I'm old enough to where I kind of miss the getting made fun of redhead things. I know I'll meet people now, like, oh, didn't you made fun of? I'm like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. But back then, it was only, like, one redhead per school, so we were more like a unicorn, I think, than, like, so now there's a lot more redheads, I think, which is going to be interesting to me.
Right.
So I don't think there was enough
I do remember.
back when I was born to get made fun of.
Okay.
Yeah, because
we had one boy redhead. We had one boy redhead and one girl redhead. I do remember that. And then there was that stereotype I wanted to ask you about, but you did say, well, you have spitfire and spunk. Now, is this really a thing? I haven't studied this. Is there really some kind of different gene with redheads that makes them more fiery and more spunky and, like, you know, fire underneath them?
It's interesting.
Not always bad.
Like, Google online while we're talking. Like, just Google redheads or mutants or something. Yeah, Google redheads or mutants or something. So it's interesting. So we actually, like, if I were to go to get surgery, they usually would use 2 anesthesiologists because redheads process poisons 20% quicker than normal people. Because I guess we're literally technically whatever you want to call it, a mutant. So you have to use so much. Cause I remember the first surgery I got, I woke up. And because it was, you know, back before they know it. And now it's a thing, and dentists now know that you have to give redheads like 20% more shots. I remember as a kid, I'm like, no, I can feel that. Like, that really hurts. Like, they're like, oh, no, you can't feel that. I'm like, no, I definitely feel that. But, yeah, it's weird. So we burn through poison quicker. There's a lot of interesting, like, facts on redheads that I only actually kind of know because people send them to me. But
That's so interesting, Christine. That's one thing I have not researched, but I always wondered about. So now I know you guys are a little bit different. So that is amazing. So that's strength, really, that you process poisons more quickly, which is really, you're strong. You're very strong. So, and here you have maybe autism and you don't even really know it.
What was that?
And here you may have autism and you don't even know it.
Oh, that's right. So actually, so I had a doctor that does brain scans that was treating a girl, I think she was 9, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 9-year-old girl that had autism, but like really like noticeable autism. And then so they treated her with this brain machine. We can talk about all this. We're probably going to end up doing a bunch of stuff just for fun, I guess. But yeah, so there's a machine that doctors, the Department of Defense originally created this to help soldiers that get PSTD, and I actually had PSTD myself, which we can talk about on another show too. But so it was created to cure that, and then so I went through 50 sessions with this machine, and then the girl before me, her mom brought her in. She was autistic, and she was 9, and they treated her with this machine, and she was like noticeably improving. And then they gave her stem cells also, and that really helped. So there's a lot of great technology with autism. I'm really excited to get involved this year more with the company too. So the partners of Cali FX, his brother actually had autism, and he passed away from a seizure. He passed away and died from a seizure. So that's why he's so passionate. So there's a lot of people in the company that are really wanting to help try and find a cure, or not a cure, but at least a great help for autism with CBD. So I think it really is one of the biggest things out there. I don't know if you guys have read much too. A complete side note, just on my own personal thing, but nicotine. So I only got obsessed with cannabis, and we'll talk about this another day, when my own health completely crashed, and then I ended up figuring out how to, like, pancreatitis, like all this stuff, like really, really bad, but for no reason too, and I ended up healing myself with cannabis, but before that, I was obsessed with reading about nicotine, and how nicotine helps kids with autism and Tourette's, and, mothers are using nicotine patches on their kids. With autism, they stopped having violent fits. And, and then, but everyone sees them to death. They're like, oh, my God, just give a kid a cigarette. But, nicotine is just a chemical in our brain. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Maybe they could start vaping.
Yeah.
We had a guy on here who, he has a vape shop, and he was really into selling. I should tell him about you, to carry carry your product in his shop, because he is about natural healing. And so vaping is to try to get people off cigarettes. But then the vaping, he's not just saying, okay, vape for the rest of your life, but then eventually we have everything, but not the CBD. And he gave me some. And he's like, you might not notice the difference is big time, but do this for a month. And when you stop taking it, that's when you're going to notice the difference. And I did, Christine, so much. And I don't have another bottle of it. Then I'm like, okay, now I'm in pain again. Now I'm creaky, and now I'm aching, from my accidents and all of my injuries from sports. I feel I really need it. But then I thought, well, how? Okay, so am I supposed to just wing it and take like a drop or 2 or 3, or how much do I take? But you say that you are referring to the customer of how much per whatever you're experiencing symptoms to take. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so we have absolutely everything too, which is the coolest thing. So it's like today, I've been going out nonstop, setting on stores, and we have like this pain relief spray that I just spray on my hands, and they seriously keep working. So I'm like, I've overused my hands to death for like so long. So it's like now, like they'll cramp, like that Vulcan signal. Yeah. Like I'll try and do stuff, and my hands will just cramp up like that for no reason, just cramp and whatever. Oh, and I've been using our pain relief spray, and I've been going crazy doing stuff, helping at the office last couple of days, and it actually stopped that weirdo Vulcan thing. So I'm really looking forward for you to try this.
That's amazing. And so, but you were talking about how they are putting nicotine patches on the children. So how are you incorporating the nicotine with the CBD, or are you? Where were you going with that?
Not at all. I was just speaking with you guys on that, but look it up since you guys are interested on autism also, because that's something I want to do down the road, just personally that I want to do down the road. Because we have actual, doctors and PhDs and all that, but that's my own personal thing, is I really want to combine CBD with nicotine, like turmeric. There's a couple other things that I feel, because especially for me, so I had a lot of nervous tics, so much thing going on, and I growing up as a kid, teenager, probably, from autism or whatever, and like eliminating sugar, eliminating white flour. I've always been basically like vegetarian or vegan or that. But like there's just so many things that we can do now that I'm really looking forward for the future. My brain
great.
started going off. I'm like, wait, I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, wait, you're still speaking. But
that's
yeah,
okay. That
you're
just
when you
like
have a chance
thinking.
too.
You're thinking of a lot of things. You have a lot of ideas that are going off in your brain, which is contagious. I mean, it's amazing the energy that you do exude by just talking.
Oh, I just remembered why I brought that up. Okay, so when I used to bartend, and I would get nervous and have anxiety, like nervous tics and stuff, and I would go like lengths of time without feeling like the autism, the OCD, or whatever it was, and then like sometimes, like I could go years, and then sometimes it would come up, and just the low dose nicotine patch would really help, and it was from just reading that, and I just read so many message boards of these countless mothers that are like just villainized when this is the only thing that helps their kid, and it doesn't make sense to me because it's like, so why should they pay? So a quote unquote good mother, pays a drug company a bunch of money to help their kid that has all of these side effects when they could just do a nicotine patch, which our brains make anyways. And then like my one of the partners in Cali Effect, his brother that passed was the same thing. Is like all they did was just give a medication, and the side effects killed them. So I think this year I feel like people are finally going to move forward to natural cures and natural ways to help each other, especially with the I don't really know enough either way on the COVID thing to have an opinion, but I feel like especially now people are going to look more into to natural cures. So I think I don't know. I'm really excited. I think I feel like I just got off on a tangent, but I'm really excited for this year now that everyone's been home to really be like, hey, we don't need to eat this much. We don't need to buy this much. Like, we can probably really cure ourselves. Like, so I don't know. This whole thing this year has been very stressful for everyone, but I feel really good about this year.
I like that you're saying that because everybody's like, well, I guess 2020 isn't going to really be the best year. Well, why not? Maybe this is the year of rediscovering ourselves and also finding products that we would never look for if this wasn't going on, because we wouldn't.
Yes.
We wouldn't be, right.
I love that you were saying that. No, keep going, because that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yes, I am thinking that. I was thinking that too, that, you know what, I'm going to turn this into a positive because the universe, it's all about balance. So for whatever really bad is going on out there, there's got to be a balance. There's got to be other things that are happening for good out there. And there are. We're just discovering them. Yes, Johnny.
This is the thing that is positive. I turned 48 on the 28th of this month. I'm Gemini.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, we were going to have I was going to go out to see Barbara and celebrate my birthday there, but you know why. Obviously, since I can't do that. But in a few months, maybe, I want to go out there, and then, I'll be able to meet Priscilla and Barbara and everything. And it's going to be great. I mean, Barbara has been a saint with me. She's really done a lot of things. I always tell everybody she's a genius because, like,
I think you are.
I'm going to do a TV channel. I'm working on a TV channel. I'm going to have Barbara help me out. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. No, you can definitely tell. You can tell that Barbara's just like a smart, like, powerhouse woman. But we
I was watching.
Like, I feel like attracts like.
Yep.
I was watching last night. I don't think I told you this, but she was on Family Feud, and she was competing with a bunch of actors, and I just thought it was so adorable the way the Playmates, every time that they would talk about the questions, they would huddle up, And I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. This is something that I've noticed, and it actually is a compliment to the Playmate, because this is the thing. I've interviewed a lot of psychics, and I've interviewed a lot of Playmates. And you know the difference between interviewing a Playmate and a psychic? Okay, you want to know the difference? Okay.
Yeah.
The Playmate, this is what makes it all work wonderfully. Will plan. You know, they go over every single question. This is what the model does. They go over every single question. Question number 3 is good. Question number 4, like, you know. The psychic would be like, don't tell me anything. Don't tell me anything.
Psychic from now on, then. Just like give me questions that no, but I promise I won't flake on you.
What were you saying? What were you saying?
Oh, I was joking. I was like, I'm just going to have to call myself a psychic thing. So I know you asked me if I had any questions or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
No. I don't have a problem with the planning. The planning, because, you know, seriously, the first time we had Barbara on the air, it was exactly that. I mean, the planning, the ability to plan actually made it for a wonderful interview, because what it does is it sort of, like Barbara was like, okay, are we going to go over this? Okay, are we going to go over that? You know? And then by the time we're on the air, the show is a finely tuned machine. So that's what the models do that's so great. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
No, I like the fact
I
that
was just joking,
plan
and then you get me, and I'm like, I have 0 questions, but I just promise I won't flake on you.
No,
the
anti-model.
That's the catch. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I hope you didn't get offended by
okay.
that. Sorry, go on.
Okay. I just wanted to say that Johnny, you know, there's a lot of opinions about models and what people think and stereotype, but we're not just models. Playmates, we're in a league of our own, and we're like sisters. We're like sorority sisters. We're there, like, we want to support each other, like what you were saying earlier about women power. We believe in that, and we lift each other up. In my time as a Playmate, and this has been 28 years now, Christine, that I have never gotten in a fight with a Playmate. And Johnny's like thinking this is like normal happenstance. I'm like, you got it wrong.
I literally just said hallelujah, because this is the only world I know, is that all these women are just so awesome and caring and badass. Like, how can I help you? How can I get you a job or introduce you to this director or da-da-da? Yeah, it's like the greatest sorority. Sorry, I muted it because my cat started yelling, but I'm literally sitting here going, hallelujah, praise Jesus while you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for, no, I just got what Vanessa, or was talking about, the chills all over my arms. And she says when that happens, it's called Kundalini, which is the upper body. And, you know, it means something very special. It means a confirmation. And I got that for the first time today, just now. It's so true. And isn't that wonderful? And Hugh Hefner thought of this idea. And you know what? He somehow, the company, he made it to where, yes, we empower each other. And I think, though, that, okay, we all have our own month and year. That's ours forever. It's not like we're an ex-Playmate. Is that an ex-month? No, it's history. And you know what? We have that forever. And it's like nobody has to compete for it because we all have our own. And I think that kind of is how I felt when I came. But then just to see all of the Playmates and how they treated me.
That there was no real competition.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was such a good point, that there really was no competition. But go ahead.
A little bit when it would come to the Playmate of the Year, but it's like that wasn't up to us, and it was just more about circumstances. It wasn't like, oh, she's prettier than this one or that. It's whatever, you know, Hef would decide. He would take the readers' votes into consideration, and then he would make the final. It was about selling the magazine and whoever was going to fit that bill the best at that time. So really, I didn't feel competition at all with the other girls.
Yeah, I never did. Like, it was so cool because it's like, so my whole life I've always just been like, you know, pro women, pro cool, or like I just try and do my best. Like if I go in public, like, or if I just, you know, the person at my groceries, I'm like, hey, how are you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I like your earrings and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just my personality. Right. But then everyone else is like, God, you're weird. Like, you're not normal. No one's complimentary like you. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm weird. But then I met all the Playboy girls. I'm like, no, there are people like me. They are genuinely sweet. Like they really care. Like I've just never met such a cool group of women where they're just so smart. They're just so classy. It's like they really did such a good job of picking these girls.
Yes.
I want to make a comment on this. I'm wondering if maybe Barbara knows what I'm going to say.
You poor guy, you're never getting a word in edgewise. You're not making a comment. You're never getting a word in edgewise.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's kind of funny that you did the movie called Bad Teacher. You were in Bad Teacher. Okay. I'm going to mention to you another Cameron Diaz movie. You know the one I'm talking about, right, Barbara?
With the head? Something about Mary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Every time I think of the movie Something About Mary, I think of Barbara. And I think that this is something that I think Hollywood does, okay? Whenever they have a character that is really, really, really good looking, really, 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 beautiful and all this other stuff, what Hollywood does is they bring this character out to prove that it's what's inside that matters. So what they do is they give this really beautiful woman the personality of a carrot, okay? And people don't think you can have both. They don't think there is such a thing. You can have both, but people don't think that's possible. So
no,
what
they think if you're pretty, how could you be nice, right?
No, I know
right.
what you mean. Like, I cannot tell you how many times people told me, "Oh, you have a fat girl's personality." I'm like, "Okay, I'm offended on a trillion levels, but I just don't know why to hit you first." Because I remember just since I was a kid, like a little kid, people would tell me that. I'm like, well, technically, I take that as a compliment because I'm pretty sure that means you think, okay, you're smart, you're funny. You don't just stand there and go, oh, well, I'm just going to bat my eyelashes and, people will do stuff for me. So I would take although it's so insulting, even though back in the day where people could say that, but,
right.
Right. It's like, it's one of those things. It's like you never see a really, really, like every time in the movies when they show a disabled person, they always have a heart of gold personality. This is why the Bubble Boy in Seinfeld was such a big deal. So funny. The point is,
it's like why can't he be an asshole? That is such a good point that you brought that up.
Right.
That's so funny.
And there is something. This is what I think has caused the assumption that there's nothing in there, because it's like the woman is gorgeous. Okay, we have to give her the personality of a carrot. We can't give her both. The characters never have both. It's like if she's really, really, if she's overweight and then they give her the great personality. But if it's if she looks like a model or like Venus, goddess of love, then all of a sudden, she's got the IQ of a carrot, and she says that she wants to be a veterinarian because she loves children. That's the sort of thing that she says, and that's what I think is happening.
I love that you brought up Venus, goddess of love, because I love that, like, 2020, I feel like people are finally appreciating the way women are supposed to look like the goddess of love, Marilyn Monroe. Like, we're supposed to be, like, sexy, like, size, like, just powerful, like strong women. I think I just got a mental picture of I'm like, why am I even talking? But I think you're talking about the Venus goddess of love. But I really love that 2020, I feel like, is really celebrating real women's bodies and, like, the power. Like, everyone used to always talk to me my size. Like, I always had, like, big thighs and big calves, but strong from, like, biking stuff. And I remember guys would be like, oh, like, your thighs are bigger than mine. I'm like, well, yeah, well, like, you're a wuss then. like, why are you talking to me? But, like, I love that, like, this year is all about, I feel like, celebrating, like, women, like, finally realizing and celebrating that women are all different shapes and sizes. And
yes, I agree. I love that. And there was a recent Playmate. You probably know her name, but I just happened across her on Instagram, and she is a full-figured model. I believe in catalogs and things, and she's gorgeous and beautiful. And you know what? Men love that. So why not have a Playmate who can be somebody for a lot of men out there, which love fuller, something to hold on to more. I mean, even my daughter hugs me. She's like, "Oh, you're so tiny, Mom. You're so little," And that was a whole thing too that I had to deal with, being the smallest, most little person growing up. But then I grew up. I'm pretty average, so that's okay. But I wanted to ask you, okay. Sometimes I had felt like growing up I was very shy, but I felt like I had to be overly nice, because if you're pretty and you're shy, then they say, "Oh, she's a stuck-up bitch." And I wasn't. I was just shy. So then I had to try harder to be outgoing, which, you know what? I never came out of my shell until I did Playboy. When I came on the set and they made me feel as smart as they made me feel beautiful, that was when I started to come out of that shell of all those stereotypes that kind of beat us down over time as we grow up. It doesn't seem like the redhead thing got you when you grew up, but for some it could have been very, horrible for some who weren't so strong.
Well, I think it didn't exist back then. Well, I mean, my type of personality was, if someone would have said something back then, I probably would have punched him in the face, because I don't like bullies. But I actually never got picked on for being a redhead. So I think it was just so long ago that the whole ginger thing wasn't around. Like, I think it's just people were like, "Oh, that's weird. There's a kid in our school with red hair." All right. So it's just, it was so rare that I never actually got picked on, though. So I can imagine so now if everyone was like, "Oh, Ginger, you have no soul, blah, 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 blah." Well, I mean, I could imagine, because I would have punched them on the face. Right. But no, I can imagine for kids now, like it would be hard to, and too, like, redheads are like 2% of the population. So if you are the only redhead kid in the school getting picked on right now, like, it could be really hard, I think.
Wow, so it's very rare like that. Like being a twin is pretty rare too. Yeah. It's right up there with that. And you know what? You should then feel special. So I think you're special. Not odd or weird, but special.
I think I'm
in a good way.
I think I'm special in all the weird ways, but thank you. Not weird.
And you're good, and you're okay with that. And you're fine with that.
I'm definitely special.
I love that.
In parentheses, sentences, words in parentheses. I'm that special.
That's fun. I mean, you're probably like this ray of light around everybody. And, those conventions that you say that you're dealing with so much, and you did that all day today, and you set up everything. That's draining, and you're still so spunky and happy. So that's totally cool. It's giving you an edge.
It's so rewarding, because it's like, I feel like, I was talking about puzzle pieces, and it was I don't know, like a year or two ago, like I saw this little necklace that was 2 puzzle pieces, and I was like, had a feeling to buy it, and it didn't make sense, and and I bought it, and then like now in hindsight, like I just really feel like just so many talented people have just been lining up, like, for the better good, like, not for greed, like just with this whole company, I feel like I've just been sitting watching just all the perfect puzzle pieces. Like, every person I meet that comes onto the company, I'm like, I'm like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and I hear the credentials, hear the backstory. I'm like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, yes, of course." And then "Oh, nice, it's so nice to meet you." And like all these girls come on, and they're just like so hot, sexy, talented. Like, it's so crazy. Like I don't know. It's like I keep losing my chain of thought. My brain starts going, "Oh yeah, future's awesome." I start thinking, but I don't know. It's so cool for this year. Like, I feel like this is really just a year for like women to really band together, and that's why I love Cannabis so much. It's because it gives so many women the opportunity to create and grow and like meet each other and like celebrate and become independent, and especially too because there's so many women in bad relationships that aren't able to get away from men, and now like all these cannabis companies is a really great way for people to become independent. And
oh yeah, a lot of people are going into business, and just not just like what you're doing with it, but with hemp seed, making clothing out of it, using what we have here.
I love that.
Yeah, and even like my tanning lotion I saw was made out of hemp. Like, a lot of products are made out of it. So I love it too. And also, what about the kind that does get people a little bit high? I mean, I'm so glad it's legal.
The state of California, yes, we are legal. Yes, we have THC. And then, okay, so since you brought it up, because I didn't want to feel like I'm like blah, blah, blah selling anything, because I'm not.
No, we're over 18. We are like plus 18 podcast.
So it's so cool. Yeah, so we had 2 people that came from Johnson & Johnson. We had people that work with, like, veterinary. So we started out So originally, we started out, it's like a small group of people, like just on a huge mission, and then it just snowballed to just like the most talented people I could have thought of, and like it's so cool. So years and years ago, people didn't know that you can use cannabis for weight loss. You can use it for pain relief. You can use it for sleep. Like even myself, honestly. So 4 years ago, I didn't even smoke weed, and then so I was completely healthy. I was with, wolves going around. Since I'm home, I guess I have time. Are you guys good?
Oh, yeah.
I
am. How about you? How are you, Johnny?
I'm right here.
Okay, cool.
We're good with
so
time,
long
right?
story short, on how I got into cannabis then. So, I was with my ex-boyfriend of 15 years, and it's like, I was with him the whole time before I was with Playboy. So, great life, blah, blah, blah. Just, kind of retired the last 2 years. I just hung out, painted, hiked with Joy in the mountains. And then I went to the doctor for strep throat, and then she's like, I think you're going to have a stroke in my office right now. Like, I need to call my insurance company to see if I can even treat you. I'm like, oh, yay, awesome. And then I got the worst case of pancreatitis. She said she'd seen even the tail was inflamed. And then my blood pressure kept getting higher. And this was after she thought I was going to have a stroke. So this was with medication, nothing worked. And then I stopped being able to digest food. And then so I just I couldn't eat, I couldn't walk. And then I just started swelling up with fluid, not being able to eat, not being able to digest anything. I gained 30 pounds within 3 weeks. I had to keep going to the doctor. And I felt so bad because the last time the guy weighed me, and I gained 30 pounds seriously in 3 weeks. And he teared up and he's like, well, at least you carry it well. And I'm just like, why am I dying? But
wow. So that's scary. You're doing nothing different, and then all that's happening. That could be a scare. And then what? And it led you to what?
So then my regular doctor was like, well, why don't you try cannabis oil, at least for the nausea? Because it got to where I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I literally was just laying in bed waiting to die. And my doctor was like, well, try cannabis oil. And this was 4 years ago, so this was when it was just THC oil or I'm sorry, it was just sativa oil or indica oil. There wasn't anything for sleep or pain or anything. And, So he's like, well, this will probably save you. And I remember, it got to where, so the 30 pounds when I gained weight was basically half in one leg. So I had one leg really, really swollen, the other leg normal. I couldn't walk. I was just so sick. And then, so I'm reading all this stuff online. And, and I'm kind of, reading about how you can heal yourself with cannabis because it just became legal. But I walked into the dispensary, and I just see all these products. I'm just like, oh, my God, I'm so sick. I just want to die. I don't even know. I'm so overwhelmed. So, after that, I got, THC oil and blah, 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 and I ended up healing myself with cannabis. And then after I got better, I'm like, okay, I'm going to dedicate my life to helping other people like myself who, their health is completely fails for no reason. After all that, it took me probably at least 6 months to be able to even walk again, by the way. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I got
When was this, Christine? How many years ago was this for you?
So this was less than 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
you went through a lot.
So I got the feeling to leave my ex of 15 years. It felt like my heart and soul was getting ripped out, that I would move to California and that I would meet the person that was going to build just the biggest badass company that really actually cared to help people. So it was so cool. So I moved out here, and then the whole Cali Effects thing happened. So it's been an interesting freaking awesome few years, I guess.
But on top of that,
wait. Me helping people, yeah. So the last 3 years, I'm basically just trying to help people me.
But wait, did you move after you became a Playmate, or you were a Playmate for years and then moved to California?
Oh,
so meanwhile, you were a Playmate for years?
Yes, I was in California forever, and then I moved to Vegas with my ex. He briefly needed to move to Vegas. He was in commercial real estate, so we moved to Vegas for that. And then it just literally felt like it's so crazy because I don't think anything doesn't happen for a reason. Because I remember at the time I'm like, okay, seriously, like why am I dying now? Like there's got to be a reason. And I'm like, okay, I can't walk now. Okay, reason, anything yet? Okay, nope, still dying. Awesome. All right, cool. But then after I healed myself with cannabis, then I kind of got it because like I knew I was going to meet the best and like be able to provide the best. And especially since I brought up one of the partners, his brother, actually dying, who was autistic. With
from a stroke.
In my family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
Chris.
by the way.
Okay. No, this is good for patients, like lung patients, like my mom. She has IPF, which is idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and which they don't even know how people why they come down with this scarring of the lungs for no reason. And they're researching. And my guy friend who has the vape shop, which is, a self-help, they're doing a self-help shop now. And with the CBD, he said that she should take that. So I agree. But then there's the dosage.
I would like
how
to send
much?
Some stuff then. Okay, so a lot of the
you.
other companies with CBD, they cut it with stuff. They cut it with coconut oil. So MCT oil, stuff like that. So ours is pure CBD oil, and it's only cut with terpenes. So let me know when we can send her some, because I actually had severe asthma. So the last time I had a doctor check my lungs, I only had 20% lung capacity. I've used inhalers my whole life. I had to use 2 prescription inhalers. And then when I started using cannabis, and this was before, Cali Effects now, where it's like pesticide-free, blah, 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 all the good stuff. But just from my starting to use cannabis, my asthma completely went away. I didn't even bring my inhalers with me when I moved back to California from Vegas 3 years ago. My asthma completely healed. And there's actually a lot of studies on cannabis smoke helping lung function.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I know what Johnny's going to say because we are going over 2 minutes. We might get cut off, but okay, thank you, Johnny.
Okay, well we will come back again. And Johnny, I'm so sorry. We've been talking over you this whole time, but I'm so glad we're finally back on, and we're going to do a lot more.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. If you could come back and just strictly talk about the cannabis and your company and all of the more details, because I find it really a breakthrough.
Yeah, because I'll be in the office like all day long now. So honestly, like this week, you can basically just give me like an hour, and I can make it work and just give you guys a call from the office.
Okay.
There's a lot of girls there too. Everyone there has a personal story about how our companies healed them too. Like one of the girls couldn't even lift her arm above her shoulder for years. She can now. Everyone in the company has been healed by cannabis. So I would love to get the word out.
My mind is getting healed when I get creative with it. I know that. I love that part.
Yeah, let's get creative. You guys finally got me on the phone, so let's get creative.
Okay, awesome. Yes, Christine, it was well worth the wait. So thank you, and I just want to shout out to the listeners real quickly. If you would like to listen to the show, because there was a lot going on you may have missed, you can find this show and all of our other shows on our YouTube channel, Life, Laughter, Happiness YouTube. And please don't forget to subscribe while you're there. And if you would like to follow Christine, please do so. Her Twitter is at MissDEC05. And also, she has Instagram and Facebook. I checked that out too. You've got that going on as well. And her company, Cali, CALYFX. And look that up. And we're going to be posting that on our Facebook page. Links to help her company, and so you can order there. And we really appreciate Vanessa Orr for coming on and giving this wonderful reading. That was
so
really
awesome. Yeah.
That was so awesome. And
Jonathan,
yeah.
I am so sorry Jonathan, I'm so sorry you got 3 words in edgewise, but
No,
it's
okay.
speak for it. You have me now.
Okay. All right.
It was pretty normal. Okay. It went pretty,
he's
you know,
used to
as
women,
usual.
is what you're saying. We never shut up.
Yeah.
And Johnny is awesome. And thank you. And Johnny, we're thanking you for getting Christine here. And it was so great to meet you, Christine, and keep on going. And you're going in the right direction. And we thank you very much from the bottom of our heart for coming on today. All right. And have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.